Yeah, we're going to talk about regenerative supply chains. So the fact that we have regenerative practice on land, but often it stops there. So how do we bring that thinking that got us to regenerative practice through into our supply chains? And how do we encourage our eaters to also think regeneratively and support those that are doing the good stuff on the land? And we're also going to talk about being an Indigenous ally and how the importance of Indigenous thinking in food systems can be incredibly powerful.
From wherever we are, we acknowledge the traditional custodians of country throughout Australia, recognising their continuing connection to this land, its waterways, the stars in the skies since time immemorial. We pay our respects to the elders, knowledge holders, and to all the generations of First Nations peoples who have nurtured their unceded sovereign lands for over 80,000 years and continue to do so today.
G'day, I'm your host Charlie Arnott, an 8th generational Australian regenerative farmer. And in this podcast series, I'll be diving deep and exploring my guests' unique perspectives on the world so you can apply their experience and knowledge to cultivate your own transition to a more regenerative way of life.
Welcome to the Regenerative Journey with your host Charlie Arnott.
Angela Clifford, we're on, and you're from, why don't you tell us where you're from, what are you going to talk about today, and I've got some other questions.
Yeah, I'm Angela Clifford from Eat New Zealand. We are Aotearoa New Zealand's not-for-profit food movement, a collection that's about reconnecting people to their land and ocean through their kai or their food. I'm here to bring the love across the Tasman Sea from Aotearoa and find all those beautiful joined-up, cooperative, collaborative spaces with our cousins and brothers and sisters from Australia.
And is there anything you're specifically going to be talking about in your preso in about half an hour's time? I'm conscious, I don't know, you've been late to it. Is there what new messages have you got for us?
Yeah, we're going to talk about regenerative supply chains. So the fact that we have regenerative practice on land, but often it stops there. So how do we bring that thinking that got us to regenerative practice through into our supply chains? And how do we encourage our eaters to also think regeneratively and support those that are doing the good stuff on the land? And we're also going to talk about being an Indigenous ally and how the importance of Indigenous thinking in food systems can be incredibly powerful when we hold space, amplify and listen to those.
And I assume that the Indigenous, learnings in New Zealand are going to apply to Australia. The principles are the same, the attitude, the sort of the culture, the cultural, challenges as well that you guys have experienced over there. It's all can apply to our Australian Indigenous context.
Yeah, obviously I'm not Indigenous, so it's not my place to speak to exactly what that is for Indigenous people. My understanding of it is that there are similarities, and one of the most powerful ones is how we are nature. So humans are nature, and my understanding in Māori or Te Ao Māori or the Māori worldview is that humans are actually the taina or the younger sibling in all the other species in the world. So they're not at the top of the pyramid, they're actually at the bottom, and that we owe a mark of respect and understanding for all other species in the world.
Now tell me, we're sort of heading on to midday, I think, here on day one of Grounded. Tell me, Angela, what have there been some standout presentations you've been privy to this morning so far? Anyway, and was there anyone you came here specifically to listen to and see?
Oh, look, there's just such an incredible, varied piece of content. I listened to the regenerative vegetable farmers this morning because that's an area that super fascinates me in terms of regenerative practice. I'm really interested in perennial vegetables and how we can move from annual to perennial systems in the face of climate change. I loved listening to Jake Wolke. He just brings a whole different dimension in terms of the entrepreneurship. And so from my perspective, it's the eater-facing side of things. But yeah, it's pretty early days. So Tammy was awesome from Australian Food Sovereignty Alliance. Pretty early days, but yeah, everything so far has been epic.
Anything you've heard that you're going to take home and go, I'm going to go and do that, or make that phone call or do that research? Have you been inspired to sort of execute on action something when you get home?
Yeah, I'm really interested in or vending butcheries. I just think because labour is such a major issue for small to medium food producers, so setting up systems where people can let themselves in and let themselves out, and I've actually seen a lot of that around Australia, so I think that's some thinking that might be useful back home, and I think we've got some thinking to bring to the party around abattoirs and some of the issues and challenges that Australia are currently facing in that space. So it feels like a really cool exchange of ideas and hopefully the beginning of a much more interwoven relationship.
And last question, are you looking forward to lunch?
I've had lunch. It was delicious.
Oh, cheeky.
It was so good. I would really recommend the pepperoni pizza and the Wallaby pie. And that's something especially for all my New Zealanders. Wallaby pie turns out it's delicious. We have, and they're a major pest. So it turns out we can turn them into pies, and they're delicious.
What about possums? Possum pie?
Yeah, possums kind of stretching it. We really don't like possums either. It's basically everything you have that you've given us that we don't want. Quite a few pest species, as it turns out. Although perhaps my most exciting moment on the farm so far has been the discovery of a baby tiger snake. And that was just thrilling for a New Zealander.
Where? Baby tigers?
Well, apparently there's quite a few around.
Here?
But the one I saw was just
so not in New Zealand?
No.
Oh, my God.
It was about 10 metres in that direction, Charlie.
And there was a black snake here this morning too.
That was a tiger snake because they don't have black snakes here.
Oh, right. Well, I've been misled. Angela, thank you so much for this little quick Vox Pop. We're both going to have to work out what Vox Pop even means because I have no idea. But thanks for just doing a spontaneous little chat, and all the best for your session, your presentation very shortly.
Thanks for warming me up.
You've still got 20 minutes to fine-tune if need be, but I doubt it.
I'll be fine.
Thanks, Angela.